Hi, my name's Seth Paulnett. I'm the CEO of Smokehouse Pharmaceuticals. And as you can tell around the area that we've been having a little bit of trouble communicating with each other, being a little more efficient. So I'm here to present to you ways that can boost creativity and help us understand each other. So the first question I would like to ask is, can a transient period of procrastination after an assignment has been delegated improve the creativity of the final product through subconscious incubation? So, first, think about procrastination. It's the voluntary act of not attempting a task and is sheerly controlled by the person itself. Creativity is truly a gift, especially in a modern world where technology does pretty much everything for us. Thankfully, a man named Adam Grant took the time to research how to evoke more unique thoughts in the workplace through performing a multitude of experiments measuring the effects procrastination on thought creativity has. Now, when you look at procrastination, you ask, can it work? And even some of the greatest do it. And if you look above, there's my diagram. It's kind of hard to see due to my placement, but this is how I feel with me. 60% of the time, I'm putting it off. 10% of the time, I'm doing it, and then 30% of the time, I'm thinking about the task. So that's truly not the most efficient way to get something done. But moving on, in expansion, Grant is the author of multiple bestsellers and a psychology professor at Wharton University. He was able to receive his PhD from the University of Michigan in organizational psychology. In one of his surveys, he administered 3 groups business assignments, but instructed each group to spend different durations of procrastination before attempting the business tasks. Albeit procrastination is often considered synonymous with laziness, prominent inventors such as Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, and Martin Luther King tended to forego completing important tasks. For instance, the famous phrase, "I have a dream," was not originally written in his notes right before. It was actually performed while he was on stage. So, moving on to Grant's survey. According to some of Grant's data, the group that spent approximately 5 minutes distracting themselves before attempting the assigned task yielded the highest creativity. Contrary to the belief of most researchers, the correlation between time spent procrastinating and creativity yields an upside down U shape, as you can see over there on the left. So you've got the precrastinators. Those are the people who immediately go at it, and then right in the middle, which is the sweet spot, around the 5 minutes, and then you got the procrastinators, which are the people who totally put it off for as long as they can. That's just way over 5 minutes. So taking a quick step back, incubation in this context refers to the ability of the thought to grow and produce better ideas, mainly more lucrative ideas, because we're here to create a lucrative business. Furthermore, stepping away from a task for a short period allows the human mind to engage in thought reconstruction. Instead of thinking solely about the task, the mind can break apart the question and rearrange it in a new way that can help invent new ideas. A simple example of thought reconstruction through incubation is when a person forgets a certain word, walks away, or thinks about something else for a brief moment, and then the forgotten word suddenly appears in the mind. On the other hand, immediately attempting the task, also known as procrastinating, prevents time for thought reconstruction and forces the mind into thinking linearly. The issue with thinking linearly is that it does not allow the thought process to review possible mundane ideas because it is only moving in one direction. Furthermore, linear thinking can cause a person to stall because the mind cannot circle around ideas. So we're moving on to Grant's study. It contained 119 students who were randomly assigned to 3 groups that consisted of low procrastination, moderate procrastination, and high procrastination. The task for all groups was to craft a business proposal that would help a student who just won $10,000 to start up an online business. Each group was instructed to spend a certain amount of time viewing funny YouTube videos before writing the proposal. In addition, the amusing YouTube videos were considered part of the student's bio so that the participants did not get a hint that they were being tested on procrastination. The method used to control how much time each group spent watching the videos before attempting the task was giving the low procrastination group 1 video, the moderate procrastination group 4 videos, the high procrastination group 8 videos. After tests were attempted 3 times, they were evaluated by professional graduate students who used intricate mathematical equations to judge the creativity of each proposal. The group that procrastinated moderately or within 5 minutes yielded the highest creativity. Expanding with slight contrast on the effectiveness of incubation on creativity, Utna Sayo performed extensive research into the specifics of rest periods, incubation, and the difficulty of the tasks. Sayo received her PhD in psychology at Lancaster University in the United Kingdom. She conducts research that specializes in cognitive amelioration. In the study, Sayo found that short rest periods on activities that require less thinking yielded better results for incubation than when shortly procrastinating on high cognitive activities like linguistic problems. Sayo's main point was that incubation needs to be used astutely for certain situations. For instance, difficult tasks like linguistics and visual analyzation require longer rest periods for incubation to have its optimal effect. Shifting in the direction of how to efficiently deal with multicultural dilemmas, Erin Meyer explains in many ways how certain issues can be fixed. Meyer traveled the world and wrote an undeniable bestseller called The Cultural Map. She is currently a professor for INSEAD who specializes in bridging the gap between cultures and creating a more friendly and efficient workplace, which is exactly what we're trying to do here. The main cultures that work in the facility are German, American, and Japanese. According to Meyer, low-context cultures have relationships based solely on their jobs and can change frequently due to things like promotions or just moving up or getting fired or something, and they may not be friends or know each other after that. The German culture, with reference to the diagram, is low to mid-range context. On the contrary, the Japanese are high context, which could have confliction between the two cultures. Thus, educating all 3 cultures about their differences can assuage the possible conflictions. Task-based cultures, which the Germans are about a third, believe more in understanding the tasks completely, whereas relationships-based cultures like the Japanese prefer to know more about the people they are working with rather than the task. Even though merging these 2 ideas together can create strife, making the employees aware of this knowledge can help the majority realize that acceptance is the most powerful tool to success. A consensual society, Japan for instance, agreements and decisions will only progress if everybody agrees. It needs to be unanimous. On the other hand, a top-down culture listens only to the headmaster for the decision. Thankfully, the Germans are not too far from the Japanese in how they delegate consensus. Nevertheless, there is still a difference, and the employees must recognize that speaking with each other in a tolerant tone will help the company thrive. The Germans, according to a specific culture, demand all the information necessary to help the individual to complete their task. On the contrary, the Japanese are a holistic culture that prefers the background and everything that makes up the task in order to feel successful enough to achieve the goal. Unfortunately, this will be the most difficult aspect to assimilate. However, with reference to the research done by Grant and Sayo, the procrastination time will allow each culture to subconsciously ponder the task rather than their differences.